Let's quickly talk about Shopify Markets. So we are going to do a review of Shopify Markets. So the question is this the best platform for cross-national sales? So let me first give you the review here. So what is Shopify Markets? So Shopify Markets is is a significant update to the e-commerce platform to help cross-border merchants. Okay, what will happen here is that according to our research and most research reports out there, by 2024-2025, the global e-commerce market is said to be worth $6 to $7 trillion. Think about it. This is just a great opportunity for all kinds of e-commerce entrepreneurs, you included, so to actually make money, right? So it's not just about selling stuff through your online store. It's about selling things through cross-national boundaries. So you can be here in the States, you can be selling to folks in Vietnam, in Nigeria, in China, in Australia, whatever. So, but you have to really be in a ecosystem to actually take advantage of that. So we're talking about stuff like, so Shopify Markets is really a response to a series of challenges. So challenges in terms of currency exchange, language barriers, logistics, and other issues that can be time consuming for online entrepreneurs. Shopify Markets is bringing a consolidated response to all of those challenges. Okay. So think about Shopify Markets as a cross-border management tool that helps business owners find, establish, launch, enhance, and manage their e-commerce presence from a single store. So it's really an effort to bring greater ease to international shipping, payments, and language challenges within the universe of online stores running Shopify apps. Okay. So this Shopify Markets is currently available to merchants in Australia, Austria, Belgium, Canada, Denmark, Germany, Hong Kong. You have Ireland, Italy, Japan, Netherlands, New Zealand, Singapore. You have Spain, you have Sweden, the United Kingdom, and the United States. So you have a large constellation of players that are in the initial pipeline of markets. By the way, boss, welcome back to the show. It's really a pleasure to have you here. We're having a quick convo in today's show about Shopify Markets. I'm giving you an in-depth review of Shopify Markets, so you have a clear idea what you're getting yourself into if you would like to sign up for this platform. So when we talk about Shopify Markets, what is the value added here? So the thing is, if you think about Shopify Markets, you have the ability to sell to multiple countries with a click of a button. So the idea behind Shopify Markets Pro is to serve as an all-in-one intuitive platform for expanding an e-commerce store with a click of a button. So before Shopify launched the Shopify Markets standard in 2022, brands will have to create a completely separate websites with a new domain that ensure the content on that site was localized. In addition, you needed to activate local currency conversions, a separate payment processor, and calculations for things like duties and taxes. All in, you would end up spending an incredible amount of time and money for development and market expansion. So this is kind of cool. So built off of Market's simple single shop back office management, the emergence of Shopify Markets Pro really removes the remaining barriers to selling in new markets. What am I trying to say here? Shopify Markets really makes it for you very easy to sell in multiple countries, multiple currencies too. So you basically are having the ability to have global selling from one store, one single store, and you have an all-in-one localization. So basically, when we talk about all-in-one localization, we're talking about that you are able to switch for one region and activate. You can actually flip a switch for one region and activate tax and duty calculations, features for cross-border complexities. So we're talking about import restrictions, exchange risk, and more. You have fast global shipping, and you also have local regulation compliance. Okay, so this is kind of cool. You have duty and import tax calculations. You have regulation compliance. You have streamlined shipping and cross-border logistics. So you have like Shopify Markets is really making it easy for you to sell no matter where you are at. You have internationalized storefront and checkout. So this is actually localized based on where the customer is. You have customer experience. The customer experiences that are tailored to each market. This is really great, really wonderful. You have fraud protection and financial risk management. So you have an all-in-one platform that does all of these things. By the way, boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We're having a conversation about Shopify Markets. This is a review of Shopify Markets. Let's go a little granular here in terms of the features. So what are Shopify Markets features here? Well, first of all, you have currency conversion. This is really good. So the ability to pay for a product in a local currency, it's really a decisive, when you really think about it, a decisive factor in conversion rates. So this is kind of cool. You have language translation. So language translation is another decisive factor also. So you really want to, like, if you are, let's say if you have a customer who is visiting your store in Germany, for instance, the content will automatically be in German, but not like the approximate translation that Google Translate does, but the actual, like a stellar translation. You have international domains. This is really cool. You have payment methods. You are able to calculate duty and import taxes. So when we talk about international domains, we're speaking about, let's say, before, if you were, say, you wanted to open a market in Australia, your store would have to have like a mystorefront.com English Australia, right? Now, with Shopify Markets, the store will change automatically to AU for Australia. If you are in Europe, if you wanted to have a Europe sort of strategy, it will become EU. If you are in the UK, it will become UK. And all these things are done automatically. You also have the ability to calculate duty and import taxes. So what will happen here is that every online shopper wants to know exactly how much a product will cost before completing the checkout process, right? So Shopify Markets will make things easy for entrepreneurs to display the actual price that the customer will pay. So everything is more transparent. This is kind of important because, again, if I'm a customer, I want to make sure that I have a clear idea about how much I want to spend before actually putting my credit card or debit card, and if the sales is worth it in the first place. If I see the price being too high, maybe I have to start thinking about another option, right? A plan B. So this is what Shopify is really bringing into the table: more transparency. Let's talk about the dashboard here. So when we talk about Shopify Markets dashboard, you have the ability to have several capabilities. You have a customizable market set of options. You have international pricing configuration. You have inventory control. You have fulfillment control. You have smart settings. This is kind of cool. And what we love about all these things is that everything is centralized. Okay, so you are able to pilot everything from a single dashboard. For example, when we talk about customizable market options, what happens here is that depending on your products, you might want to sell to larger regions than individual countries. For example, let's say you're somewhere, you want to sell to France, to Germany, to Italy, then you realize it's just a lot better to sell to the European Union. So through Shopify Markets, you're able to consolidate your strategy and sell to the European Union. Same thing, let's say in Asia or Latin America. Let's say you start selling in the Caribbean, right? So you're like, okay, should I sell to Jamaica? Should I sell to other neighboring islands? Or is it better maybe Haiti, Jamaica? Or is it better to actually consolidate and have a Caribbean strategy? So it's all about what really works for you. We also love the fact that you have international pricing configuration. So here, the thing is that you are able, again, to customize the price based on the geography. And if you are if you have been in e-commerce for a long time, you understand the importance of inventory and fulfillment control. So Shopify Markets will automatically show customers the inventory you can ship to their location. So from customer service perspective, this is bonanza, really. So, for example, if you have a fulfillment partner in France that ships exclusively to the European Union, shoppers in that market will only see available inventory from that partner. So this allows you to avoid situations where an order is placed and cannot be fulfilled. Shopify Markets will automatically adjust your storefront inventory according to product availability in the market. So this is kind of cool. That's part of the things that I was just talking to you about earlier when I said smart settings. Okay. Also, Shopify will use its vast amount of sales data to kind of help you out in terms of monitoring your performance and actually making automatic optimization to help you sell more. So the bottom line here is what? The bottom line is to help you sell more, and so you can either have complete control over your inventory, or you can delegate that control to Shopify Markets. By the way, boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We're having a conversation about Shopify Markets. So this is a Shopify Markets review video. We are going in depth when it comes to Shopify Markets to see if this could apply to you or not. So let's talk about what this is good for. So what is the target audience here? So when does Shopify Markets make sense? So in our view, Shopify Markets is a great choice when you want to create a carbon copy of your store to quickly expand into a new geography. Okay. Essentially, you have one main store that can be duplicated with custom configurations to create new stores in new regions, right? So basically, as Shopify is saying, for merchants who have globally dispersed teams that independently manage operations in their local market, it's often preferred to sell cross-border using multiple stores, along with the ability to sell and get paid in different currencies for your international selling strategy. So if you're comfortable operating all your stores from a central location instead of implementing a more localized management arrangement, Shopify Markets will make sense for you. So when we talk about, so if you are interested in having the Shopify Markets features, then you really will love Shopify Markets. For example, you have custom domain names. So with Shopify Markets, merchants can precisely target customers in specific countries and regions by purchasing and creating customized domain names and creating subfolders when they create stores for new markets. And so localizing domain names can add a sense of trust and commitment in serving the market, as well as signal local relevancy to search engines and drive up conversion rates. You also have multi-currency features and languages. So most international customers prefer to shop online using their local currency. So Shopify Markets allows merchants to convert the prices displayed on their storefronts into local currencies for international customers. So implementing multi-currency at checkout can arguably, in our case, make or break a sale. So similarly, recognizing that most online shoppers prefer to browse stores that use their native language, Shopify allows merchants to translate their stores using translation apps. But we're talking about high quality translation though. You have duties, shipping, and sales taxes. You also have configurable market operations. So this is kind of cool. Now, there are cases where we do not recommend Shopify Markets. So what are those cases? So Shopify Markets does have limitation. So despite its great features and functionality, Shopify Markets has some limitations to be aware of. For example, Shopify Markets currently is not able to support the translation of stores into certain variations of Chinese, simplified or traditional, or Portuguese, Brazilian, or standard. Stores using third-party checkout solutions that process transactions outside of Shopify's checkout. Currently, only Shopify's checkout is available. You also have stores that are targeting a different country than their primary domain. Okay, so Shopify Markets might not be enough in certain situations. Sometimes having multiple separate stores, also known as expansion stores to Shopify Plus merchants, makes more sense than operating a single store with Shopify Markets. So let's talk about that. So, for example, when does it make sense to set up separate stores? Let's say, for example, you are located in a country that doesn't have Shopify payments. So Shopify Markets is only available to merchants in countries where Shopify payments are enabled. Currently, that includes, as I said before, Australia, Austria, Belgium, Canada, Denmark, Germany, Hong Kong. You have Ireland, Italy, Japan, Netherlands, New Zealand, Singapore, Spain, Sweden, the UK, and the US. Okay, and it's important to have that in mind. Now, if you want more flexibility, Shopify Markets might not be enough for you, because when you're using Shopify Markets, you can only have one theme, and there is currently no way to restrict a group of customers based on geography or tags to a subset of products, So if you want the freedom to tweak the look and feel of your website by customizing the store theme, modifying your website photos, changing the language of your store, or tailoring the product catalog to a specific international region, you want to set up separate websites. And so this is important. And if you want to tailor your products and blog content based on geography, also Shopify Markets is not a great strategy. Or if your teams are dispersed globally, or let's say you are setting up a separate business. So if you're setting up an entirely separate business or a subset of your business, like a wholesale store, Shopify Markets is not the right fit for you. And if you want to keep the wireframe of your existing store, but populate it with different products to create a new business, you will be better off creating a separate store. Or if you sell on Amazon, for instance, as an Amazon seller, you cannot set prices lower than what your Amazon store anywhere on the web. So Shopify Markets store prices fluctuate daily based on the exchange rate. So this could result in a violation of Amazon's rule if your price fluctuates below what it's set on Amazon. And many Amazon sellers who also operate on Shopify prefer to set up separate stores for this reason. And if you want to sell to different customer segments, also this is not a great strategy for you. Or if you're doing outletting and sub branding, this is also could be a great opportunity to just go separately instead of going through Shopify Markets. Let's talk about pricing here. So when we talk about Shopify Markets, what does it cost? Now, most features from Shopify Markets are free for all merchants within standard Shopify standard Shopify plans, with the exception of foreign exchange and duties and import taxes only being available for those with advanced plus accounts. So, but what does it really cost to obtain the extra features from Shopify Markets Pro? When you upgrade to Markets Pro, you get all the features included in Shopify Markets for free with an additional per transaction fee. Keep in mind, though, that Shopify offers an all-in-one bundled price for Shopify Markets Pro, but you must walk through an application and approval review in the Markets admin before you can use it. So this is important. Now, how do you actually access Shopify Markets Pro? The thing is that as of right now, there is a quick application process to obtain the features from Shopify Markets Pro. You must check your eligibility before adding to your store. Remember, I gave you a series of countries, and if you are in those countries and those geographies, then you can qualify. And remember, I just said that Shopify Markets Pro is only available in early access to merchants operating in the United States. Shopify plans to expand to additional regions later this year. And so it's important. So at the end of the day, you have to understand that Shopify Markets Pro is only an extension of the current Shopify Markets product, which is already available to most Shopify merchants, as long as you have a basic, Shopify Advanced, or Plus plan. And Shopify Markets is available globally. And it's really important to understand that at the end of the day, the cost will depend on the configuration that you have. Also depends on the geography you have, and it also will depend on the type of products and the type of features you want to have. So it's one of those things that you can't really know beforehand how much this will cost you. You have to start. It has to be through a series of trials and errors to see what really will like your final price. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. And today I was just talking to you about Shopify Markets. I was giving you a review here. So I give you the review, the value added, the features, the dashboard, what Shopify Markets is great for, what it's not recommended for. And then I spoke to you at the end about the pricing. Thank you. God bless you. I'll see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.